What's up guys, I'm back with another video. This is my Sonic CD Retrospective and I hope you enjoy it. So first, let's start off with the gameplay like always. So in Sonic CD there are 7 zones and 3 acts. However, the third act is a boss fight. And it's not like Sonic 1 where the third act is a long stage with a boss fight at the end. So in my opinion, the structure of the zones actually aren't that bad. There's also time stones in this game, and I'm not sure why the time stones are called time stones instead of chaos emeralds. But then again, it doesn't matter because time stones are chaos emeralds. But anyways, there's no reason to actually collect the chaos emeralds because you don't get supersonic if you collect them all. But to be honest, this isn't even a problem for me just because I don't care about having supersonic in Sonic CD. Moving on, there are also 4 different time zones, which are the past, present, good future, and the bad future. To get to a different time zone, you must gain and maintain enough speed after running through a past or future signpost for a few seconds. I also think that the way you travel between the time zones in this game are awesome because it focuses on what Sonic is about, which is speed. Moving on, in the special stages, you must destroy 6 UFOs to get the time stones, or the chaos. And it's also amazing how Sonic Mania's special stages actually improved from taking the idea of Sonic CD and Sonic 3 and Knuckles' special stages. Also, if you play Sonic 1 and play Sonic CD right after, you'll notice the difference between the games. Specifically with the gameplay, for example, Green Hill Zone is a zone where you can get a lot of speed. However, in Palm Tree Panic Zone, you'll find yourself exploring a lot more than going fast. Personally, this isn't actually a problem for me. In fact, I really do enjoy Sonic City a lot for this. And I like the direction of the gameplay they took as a whole because it's unique and it stands out from the other mainline classic Sonic games like Sonic 1, 2, and 3. But anyways, I think Palm Tree Panic Zone is great because it looks amusing and the gameplay is fun. And something to notice about the zones from Sonic CD is that they resemble zones from Sonic 1. I do believe that the zones in Sonic CD look better than the ones from Sonic 1. And what really makes these zones stand out is the variety with the past, present, bad future, and the good future. Seeing the same zone in 4 different versions is a really cool idea, and it actually would have been nice to see in other Sonic games. And I personally think the special stages are the best out of the classics. Moving on is Collision Chaos Zone. In my opinion, this zone is aesthetically pleasing, and the past version looks the best compared to the present, bad future, and good future, in my opinion. Although speed isn't their primary focus in this zone, exploration is. Some people might not enjoy it, however, I actually do. Earlier in the video, I mentioned how the zones in Sonic CD resemble zones from Sonic 1. In this case, Collision Chaos is the Spring Yard Zone in a way, but more improved. For example, in Spring Yard Zone, there's some pace breakers where you have to wait and prevent you from going fast. And it's just like I said in my Sonic 1 retrospective, if you're a speedrunner and you get to a certain point in a stage where you have to wait and you can't do anything about it, then that's going to affect your time in a bad way. However, I wouldn't call this zone, Collision Chaos, a pace breaker, mainly because in this game it's about exploration for the most part. Now I can admit that there is a section in Collision Chaos in Act 2 where your time is wasted, but besides that, the zone is good. Also, while the boss fight is fairly easy, the boss fight is fairly easy and boring. But hey, that's just one bad boss fight so far. Well, the next zone is titled Tempest, and it's also one of my favorites in this game because it's an enjoyable water zone, which is a surprise to me. I say this because of Labyrinth Zone. In my opinion, titled Tempest is the improved version of Labyrinth Zone. Once again, this zone looks nice, and even though Sonic is slow underwater, it's not a problem for me. And this is because the spin dash and the super pill out make the game better for me. On top of that, the water sections are actually pretty good. Something else that's cool is the boss fight for this zone. In fact, this is one of my favorite boss fights in the game. What makes this boss fight so good to me is that you start off chasing Eggman until you get underwater, and the underwater part of the boss fight is just the best part of the boss fight to me. I can't put my finger on it, but as a kid, I just found this really enjoyable. Next up is my favorite zone in the game, which is actually Quartz Quadrant Zone. What makes this zone so amazing to me is the gameplay and the aesthetic, as well as the background. and the music also complements this zone so well. I don't have much to say about this zone despite it being my favorite zone in the game. But next is Wacky Workbench, and unfortunately, this zone is pretty bad. One reason this zone isn't very great is because the gimmicks are poorly used and will eventually become annoying to me. The music is subpar at best, which doesn't help either. I also don't like the boss, and this is because I don't think it has much going for it, and it's also just not very enjoyable for me. After Wacky Workbench, things get better because Stardust Speedway exists. It's also debatable if Stardust Speedway is the best zone in this game. In my opinion, it's the second best right behind Quartz Quadrant, but I'm pretty sure many other people would think Stardust Speedway is the best zone in Sonic CD. But yes, I can admit that the zone is really good. But anyways, Stardust Speedway has some exploration in it as well as some speed, which is surprising. And I say this because the zones before Stardust Speedway didn't encourage speed as much as Stardust Speedway. So I'd say Stardust Speedway is kind of like Sonic 3 in a way with the level design, where it encourages exploration as well as speed. But I wouldn't say it's the perfect mix though, although I believe it comes close. Metal Sonic's boss fight is the best in this game, in my opinion, because A, it's a race, and B, it's with a rival, and not just any rival. I'm talking about one of Sonic's first rivals, Metal Sonic, and I'll talk about Metal Sonic more when I get into the story. But next is Metallic Madness Zone, the last zone. Well, this zone, in my opinion, is pretty good. I feel this way because of the laser that makes Sonic small. I don't know if I should call that a gimmick or not, or mechanic or whatever. But yeah, when this happens, it makes Sonic almost the size of a fetus. Using Tiny Sonic is fun, and I personally think it was a good idea. However, what wasn't a good idea was the final boss. The problem with the final boss is that it's not much of a boss if it's too easy, you know what I mean? Well, now that I think about it, one of the problems with this game is the boss fights. Maybe this is a problem for me. But if I'm not the only one who doesn't enjoy most of Sonic CD's boss fights, then let me know in the comment section. But if you disagree with this statement or everything else I've said up until now, then let me know. Now, that's all I have to say about the gameplay pretty much. Overall, the gameplay is pretty good. Just the boss fights. Something about the boss fights. Well, moving on, I want to cover the story. So first, Dr. Eggman changed Little Planet and begins transforming it into a giant fortress with its badniks, or Sonic's badniks because they're his friends? Well, anyways, to execute Eggman's plan requires the Time Stones, which are basically Chaos Emeralds. As Sonic is on his adventure, this girl follows him. Yeah, Amy is obsessed with Sonic at this point. And then Robotnik created Metal Sonic. Then Metal Sonic kidnaps Amy in Collision Chaos Zone, which puts Sonic in a pretty bad position. However, a few zones later, everything turns out fine because Sonic outruns Metal Sonic and saves Amy. After this, Sonic meets Dr. Eggman again, but this time it's a Metallic Madness Zone, and Eggman with no robots or anything like that. But not surprisingly, Sonic does end up defeating Dr. Robotnik like always, and at the end, Little Planet thanks Sonic with a shower of flowers at the end. For the music, I don't have much to say about the soundtrack, but the soundtrack was composed by these people's names on screen right now. And also, the tracks that I don't like are from Wacky Workbench, but besides that, everything else is amazing to me. And I also just want to clarify that I enjoyed the JP version the most, more than the American version, obviously, but that's just my opinion, and that's just what I prefer to listen to. But if you disagree with me or agree, then yeah, let me know what you think about that. Also, one reason I enjoyed the JP version more than the American version is because the JP version is what I used to listen to the most as a kid when playing the game. So overall, the JP version of the soundtrack is one of my favorites, and that's all I have to say about the music. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you for all the support. It's really appreciated. And just for clarification, after this retrospective, the next one will be on Sonic 3. But anyways, that's all I have to say, and peace.